I literally, like, I thought the washer was done, and then I go upstairs, do something, I come back down, it's still not making any noise. Now it's not making any noise. Then I turn on the camera, and the washer starts going again, disrupting my video. Anyway, I'm just gonna play, while I make sure about that, while I'm busy doing stuff, I'm gonna edit the video, and just gonna show you a clip of me reacting to The Power of the Doctor. Because I did react to The Power of the Doctor, like, I filmed my reaction when I watched The Power of the Doctor, but I never actually, like, finished editing it. I edited like more than half, but I never actually finished it, which is why I'm doing a reaction podcast now. But I'm just gonna play the clip where Ian shows up, because I figure might as well, right? I've got 5 minutes left of room and 4 minutes and 23 seconds left. Come on, no more pausing. What? What are they doing? Is he in a mental asylum already? What the heck? What was this jump cut? There's no way that this is a mental asylum. He's not that... Oh wait, what? Oh my god! I said... Oh my god. Oh my god, he's just there. Oh my god, and that works, because it would make sense for Susan to be there, because she's in the future. I remember when I went to something like this, and it's just kind of weird, because, like, it is kind of mostly people, like, who are, like, older, and I don't mean to, like, say that's a bad thing, but you do just kind of, I at least felt kind of out of place, but whatever. This is weird, though. Why are they just, like, chairs in a room? I guess they don't exactly have a good funding if they're just, like, support group for people who knew the Doctor. Where's Polly? They don't even get to meet the Doctor, but at least they showed up, you know? At least, this is what I always said, it's what I always said. When I said give William Russell a cameo, I did kind of mean a cameo where he meets the Doctor, but whatever. He showed up. He showed up. I cannot believe that he showed up, but he showed up. And Mel's there, and I think that was Joe. Poor Sarah and Brigadier aren't here. Could, like, Benton or Captain Mike Yates show up? Is Yates still alive? I don't know. Yates got fired by a unit in the Doctor. He'll be like, oh yeah, I got fired by them. Alright, so, hey guys, I figured I might as well just make a video, because, like, why not? I don't know. I feel like there's always a chance when someone makes a video like this that it could be turned into, like, oh, you only saw William Russell as important because he played Ian Chesterton, or, oh, you're just trying to make yourself look good, or, oh, like, you don't actually care about William Russell, or whatever. I don't know. It's so easy to, like, try and make someone sound morbid just by talking about death. But, I just figured I should make the video because why not, right? I know I just said that. This is very unscripted. But, yeah, like, I just read the news. I did, like, tear up a bit because I was like, oh, what? Because a few years ago even, like, it might have even been, like, before the pandemic, but I remember, like, apparently, like, Caroline Ford, like, broke her ankle or something and was in the hospital for a bit. And I just remember Big Finish, like, posted something and said, like, we're very sorry to hear that Caroline Ford, and I was like, but then it's like, oh, she broke her ankle. Oh, well, that sucks, but man, I thought that was gonna be way worse. And even the top comment said that, like, bro, I thought you were gonna say that she died. So, like, when I saw it, I was like, what? No. no, William Russell's immortal. But then I did a quick Google search and it said, like, oh, he was born on this date, 99 years old. Doesn't say anything about his death date. Okay, maybe it's a mistake. Maybe I misheard. Maybe it's some cruel joke. But then no, like I went onto Wikipedia and I was getting a heat stroke yesterday. I was biking for the first time in a few years. Like I got on a bike once in like 2020 two or three. It must have been 2023 summertime. Like someone just had their bike and asked me to test it out, and I just rode around the parking lot. But this was my first time like actually riding my bike a significant distance in like a few years, and I was really pushing myself, and I got a little bit of a heat stroke afterwards. And while I was busy doing that, William Russell was going and gone. It's just, I don't know. It's just crazy to think about because I know that a lot of people kind of freak out at the thought of death. Like a lot of people just don't want to talk about it. But for me, it's something that I'm always thinking about. And occasionally I'll go into Google and I'll like just type in the name of the city I live in and then just write down the word dies next to it because I find it interesting how there's so many articles that just say like, oh, two teenagers just died in a motorbiking accident, or one man and one woman died in a car accident or something like that, or this apparently famous person that I haven't really heard of just died at the age of 88 or whatever. And it's fascinating just seeing those articles because yeah, it's crazy to think that people are being born and people are dying all the time and you never even notice it. And yeah, it's just crazy how life keeps going on. I remember my principal at my high school once said that she knew someone who was born on September 11th, 2001. And there are some people, some really cruel people, obviously, who are saying that he must be cursed because he was born on such a cruel day. But apparently, and I'm not sure if this is an entirely true story. If it is kind of cringy. But apparently, he and his mom were shopping one day, and then the cashier found out that he was born on September 11th, 2001. And then he, like, made an announcement, like, guys, this kid was born on 9/11. And then everyone actually had the exact opposite reaction. Everyone was surrounding him and, like, patting him on the head and stuff like that because they saw it differently. They didn't see it that he was cursed. They saw it that he was a symbol that even in such tragic times, life still keeps going on. But yeah, I know this is obviously way off topic from William Russell. It's just kind of the thoughts that's going through my head. It also kind of, it's weird how when I read those articles, the title doesn't even say the names of the people. It just says like 2 teenagers, 3 women, 4 men, whatever. But yeah, as for William Russell, like obviously he was a lot bigger than just his role. Like he had like a lot of other acting jobs, then obviously he also had a life outside of that. And obviously no one's ever going to know every single detail about his life. Maybe someday in the far future we'll be able to resurrect people, or we'll be able to, see every single moment that's ever happened. But as of right now, the only person who would have known absolutely everything there is to know about William Russell is now gone. And 99 is pretty... I gotta want to say, like, he was a fighter till the end, huh? Too bad he didn't make 100, but, 99 is good. Because I remember when he cameoed in The Power of the Doctor, like, obviously, you just saw my reaction. I loved it. I was so happy. In fact, I remember before The Power of the Doctor aired, in fact, like, I even made a YouTube video about it, right? Where I was just kind of whining, like, just have Susan and Ian just show up. Just have them in a rocking chair. Just have them do something. And I remember I was coming home one day and I had, these are the thoughts that go through my head on my everyday life, huh? I was around on my ride home and I was just thinking to myself, like, even if he doesn't appear on Doctor Who again, like, it's not that big of a deal. He obviously will always have the legacy of kickstarting the show, and he did appear, like, in that Crusade video, the videotape of the Crusade where he bridges and the narration a bit, and you got those Big Finish auto dramas, the 5 Companions, Susan's War, and the Time Museum. When I said the five companions, all that came to mind was an image of the Time Museum. I got my titles all completely mixed up, man. But yeah, and then he appears on the Power of the Doctor. It was funny because when I was done my reaction to that, I was kind of thinking to myself like, this kind of feels like it just kicked my butt, because it never dawned on me for even a second that they would bring old companions back but not have them interact with the Doctor. It was just kind of weird that they finally bring Ian back after so long, and he doesn't even get to see the current incarnation of the Doctor. But obviously that might have been asking a bit much for him to like have an actual reaction to it. They could have just had him like just immediately accept it and just like have a nice little hello. I remember all those articles saying like, oh, it's too bad that Jacqueline Hill is gone, and that just kind of sounds to me like they just straight up were wondering, wait, why is Barbara not here? Oh, she's dead? Oh, she's been dead for a while. Oh well. But yeah. And obviously, I know that there was there wasn't a lot. There was just a bit of controversy. People were saying like, oh, like people are objectifying the actors, and like William Russell was struggling to even say that line, and it's like, it's horrible that people just want him to show up and just say a line for our entertainment. And it's like, I get that side of things, but obviously if William Russell was really in that bad of a state, he just wouldn't have done it. He did it. Like, he was obviously capable. He obviously was fine with it. I've never heard of William Russell having anything against Doctor Who or any of the production team or whatever. I'm sure that to him, like, he never seemed like that dedicated to Doctor Who, he's not like Fraser Hines, who sometimes it feels like all that he talks about is Doctor Who and his role. William Russell, he was always happy to show up. He was there for that crappy 50th anniversary after party thing. I remember when I was reading Stuart's review of the Day of the Doctor, and he literally said, like, these are his words, not mine, but he said something like, I was really hoping that Ian Chesterton would show up for the 50th anniversary, but instead I guess his last appearance on Doctor Who would be him awkwardly picking his nose in the after show. Oh well. And then in his review of The Power of the Doctor, he said, like, when Ian Chesterton showed up, I could hear every English man over the age of 30 pumping the air in excitement. I don't know. I don't know. But, yeah. I kind of want to say something a little bit cringy, like, rest in peace, Sir Ian, Knight of Jaffa. Yeah. Obviously, could have been a lot worse, it's not like William Russell died from anything tragic. It wasn't like, it's kind of like the 14th Doctor was saying about Wilfred, he wasn't young, he was... Sometimes it's hard to find the words, huh? But anyway, yeah. It's like, it doesn't, I want to say it doesn't feel real, but I feel like I've matured enough to not really need to say that anymore. Like, it just sucks, because Susan and Ian, man, Susan and Ian, they were always the people. They were always those two survivors from the original survivors makes it sound like from a tragedy. They were just the two people who are still alive from the original cast. And he got some interviews on that season 2 Blu-ray box set. He got to voice himself in the Planet of Giants extras, where they did parts 3 and 4 the way they were supposed to be done, or originally supposed to be done. And yeah. And it was kind of weird, like, this is gonna... I'm worried that anything I say is gonna make me sound like a jerk. Like, I really don't mean it that way. But when I thought for a moment that Caroline Ford might have passed, I was thinking, like, that would be very strange if Caroline Ford passed, because then literally the only person still alive from the original production would be William Russell, who... is well into his mid-90s and kind of... I remember once when I was explaining to people The Power of the Doctor, and I was like, I literally was like telling all of my friends, like, they don't care about Doctor Who, but I was like so excited. I was like, man, William Russell finally showed up. Largest gap between TV appearances. Someone was like, wow, I wish I was still kicking at 97, man, like, that long without appearing on TV. And I was just kind of thinking to myself, like, well, it wasn't like between TV appearances at all. It was just between TV appearances on the same show playing the same character. But, might as well just let them think that way if that makes it sound more impressive. But, yeah. And, But I was explaining to people, like, yeah, he's like 97 or 98 now. Or 96 maybe when he was filming that, I'm not sure. But and then someone was saying, like, man, like, he beat the Queen. And I was like, what? And it's like, yeah, the Queen's like 96. This guy beat her. And I was like, okay. I mean, people live to be over 100, like, but the oldest person alive was like 122, right? The oldest person alive, I think, is like 104. But like the person who lived the longest is 122, according to a Vsauce video. But yeah, and he was. It's funny to think of that. I remember, like, there are all those memes of people being like, oh, the Queen just lives forever. If you got that countdown app from that crappy horror movie, it would just show infinity for her because she just lives forever. And it's like, there are people alive who are older than the Queen. But I remember once I was sitting in the lawn and, like, we could just hear church bells all around us. And I was like, what the hell? And they were like, oh my god, did the Queen die? It wasn't that. But they were joking about that and being like, oh, like, the economy is gonna have to shut down. And I remember I was like, wait, what? If the Queen dies, the economy would have to shut down? Yeah, because we'd have to reprint all of our money because they all have the Queen on it. And I was like, what? Like, I don't think they knew what they were talking about, because obviously that happened and the economy didn't shut down. Like, I think, just because money is not the current version doesn't mean it's not legal anymore. If it says legal tender on it, you can use it. It's just you might want to keep it for a bit because, it might be worth a little bit more later down the line. Maybe keep it for next generations or something. Let someone inherit it. Who knows? I remember one of my cousins was telling me how they had like a block of silver hidden under their piano, but it was only worth like $6, but it might be worth something later on. Man, my mind just like goes to the most random places. But yeah, obviously, it's just crazy. We live in a world now where William Russell is no longer with us. Carol Ann Ford. I swear, Carol Ann Ford, you better appear this season, man. I don't know what Russell T Davies is doing. I'd hate to think that Russell T Davies like has some sort of master plan where, Carol Ann Ford will finally make an appearance at the end of like season 7. It's like, you don't want to push your luck there, buddy. Like, these actors are not around forever, and I think we will regret it if we don't take advantage of the potential that they have in the show while we still can. But thanks guys so much for watching. R.I.P. William Russell. London 1965.